question I can just hear out there. Why would you sell half of what's available to you? Could you address that?
Yeah, and I think all of the public power entities in the state have an interest in doing that. It's more difficult for some of the public power entities just because of their location to do wind projects, so they're looking to NPPD to do them, and they want to participate. City of Lincoln, for example, their service territory is very small. They don't have very good wind resources in their immediate area, so they want to work with NPPD. Municipal Energy Agency of Nebraska wants to work with us. OPPD, their service territory is a little bit smaller. They do have some potential down there for wind projects, but also want to work with us because a lot of the good wind locations are in the north central and northeast part of the state, which is where we have our transmission facilities to interconnect those projects with.
Might want to touch just one more time, you know, why are you going out for proposals and just not building them yourself?
Yeah, we built and own and operate the Ainsworth wind farm. That was our first venture into a commercial size wind farm. As we looked at that, we thought there was a better approach for NPPD, in part because we're not eligible for any of the federal tax incentives that are available to private developers to do wind projects. Those incentives are quite lucrative. The federal tax incentive is around 2 cents a kilowatt hour, and public power like NPPD is not eligible for that, so our cost of doing project is higher. So our approach has been to let the private developers do that, let them get the advantage of the tax incentives and those types of things. We'll enter into a contract then and purchase the output at a cost lower than what we could have done it ourselves because they have available those tax incentives available. Another element of that is that the financing then of those projects is done by the private developers rather than NPPD. We don't have to go out and try and raise capital on Wall Street for that. And we also avoid all of the operating risks that are associated with wind farms. You know, we've had some issues with our Ainsworth wind farm with blade tracking, bearing issues, turbine generator issues up there. And with our power purchases agreement, that risk is assumed by the developer, and we only pay for whatever the output is that they put onto our transmission grid. So I think it's a good thing for our customers. They get a lower cost for the wind by going through this power purchase agreement because the private developers have the incentives, and we also avoid the risk if those things don't perform as you might expect them to do.
And you really know what your cash requirements
are. Right,
we
really know. The contract sets the price, and so we know what our price is for that power for the long term. And these are 20-year agreements.
Right.
Which makes it easier to plan.